Welcome everyone to another episode of Mastering Money Mondays, where each and every week we infuse a topic that we all can use to help aid us in transitioning from one of being a debtor and or saver into one of being a wealth creator. I am Lonzie Green, affectionately known as Mr. Flip Your 401k.
And I am Cynthia Pete, project manager by day, but also known as your financial freedom fighter.
That's what's happening. Hey, we are both employed entrepreneurs and investors as well. But hey, why do we have Mastering Money Mondays? Why do we have this podcast and show? It's quite simple. Because number one, we have been taught how to make money. Go get a good education. Go get a well-paying job. Number two, we've been taught how to manage money. Now that you're making good money, put your money in a checking and or savings account as well as your 401k. However, we have not been taught number three, which is how to master money, meaning taking the same dollar over and over and over again, multiplying it in order to become pregnant with possibilities. So as Cynthia and I are learning from 7 and 8 figure earners, we thought to pour the knowledge and the information that we are acquiring back into community in order to help us all on our financial journey. Now, before we get into this episode, make sure that you like and subscribe. Tell your mama them. Yes, I did say mama them on purpose, intentionally. I did say it that way. Now, with that being said, let's get into episode 33. Episode 33 is about navigating the future. Okay, what are some strategies to prepare for economic changes, meaning just planning ahead? So the pain point, I think the pain point, at least right now in this season, is there is quite a bit happening, not only globally, but here in this country. We're in the United States of America, and we are tiptoeing into political season. And so things are happening. The dollar is looking different. The political landscape will be changing because the previous president that we had will no longer be in office. So there's going to be some changes no matter what side of the coin you're on. That's going to occur with that. And so how does that affect your money? I think people are trying to figure that out, trying to determine how that's going to affect their money. And then, how do we prepare for that? Not only how do we prepare for that, but how do we plan for that? So the pain point is just really flat out confusion, trying to figure it all out, all these different changes and how we can persevere from these changes. So I'll turn it over to you, Cynthia, for a money tip.
Yeah. So the money tip is hold on to your cash. So I've been listening to just the job reports and how every quarter they come out and say all these jobs have been added. And I'm like, what jobs are they talking about? And are they jobs where you can actually earn a living and live by? And so there was an article that said actually near 840 something thousand jobs. Here's what they said. They said there was an error in the reporting, and actually 840,000 jobs short.
Okay.
Y'all, it's not by mistake. They've been feeding us good job report, because they don't want you to hold your money, right? We are a consuming economy. Our economy does not work unless we're buying. I'm telling you, stack your cash. So this is how you prepare for uncertainty. You have to stack your cash. And of course we spend based on confidence, right? And so I would say, have a plan to stack your money. The other point I would say is the economy is all, if you're doing stocks or options, the economy is always does good leading up to an election. So there's normally always a surge. Why? Because they're not going to let the economy drop leading up to election. It's just, it doesn't happen. So normally there's a surge in the economy, stocks, and now crypto, because now we're in, digital currency. So cryptocurrency, those things will, I don't necessarily may say surge is the correct word, but they'll go up in value and you'll be able to take advantage of that. And then also I would say stack your cash. because with uncertainty, you need the money.
So let me ask you this: when you say stack your cash, and I'll talk a little bit about what my strategy used to be when I, and I'm still learning about money.
Yeah, me too.
So, but I'm growing. I'm growing and making different choices and decisions based on the information and the knowledge that I'm acquiring.
Right.
But when you say stack your cash, are you just asking out of curiosity? Are you saying to be like a little bit more conservative, like just kind of keeping the cash stable rather than putting it in things that at least for a time being may go up or down or may fluctuate or is volatile?
Yeah, I would say keeping your cash stable. If you know the market well enough and you know how it moves, then there is this period between now and January where maybe you take that cash and invest it in something, catch the upswing, and then sell it, and now you have more cash, right? So that's the strategy I would take if you understand the market, right? If you understand the market and know leading up to the election that there's going to be a surge in stocks and crypto, and so you can catch that surge and make some money, but then sell it, and now you have more cash.
Yeah,
that's my strategy.
Yeah, that's what I tell my clients. Is I call it cream off the top. So when the getting is good, get in while the getting is good.
Yes.
And then take that cream off the top. Don't get greedy. Take that profit and move it back into a short-term type of instrument that still grows at a very small rate of interest, but it's not as volatile as what your cash was in when it was invested in the market. So in years past, what I've done, because my retirement savings plan was pretty much my only source of investment back then, I would kind of do what you said. I mean, just kind of let things go the way that they would go during the presidential season, right? I would stay aggressive, right? Now, again, y'all saw the disclaimer, so we're not your financial advisor. We're just talking about what we did. So if y'all mess up, that's on y'all.
Right.
That ain't on us, okay? But so I would just kind of be heavy, aggressive, maybe 80% in stock, and even within the stock, it was broken down. I won't go into all of that, but international, domestic stock, whatever case may be, large cap. But once the election was over with, I moved mine to cash temporarily just to see how things were going to shake out. Yeah. And then once I kind of got a feel, especially after that first 100 days when those executive orders and all that kind of stuff, then I would start moving my cash back into different positions. Now that I'm getting a little bit more knowledge, I am I'm learning a little bit more about the market, so I can do some things differently with the cash, like trading and that kind of stuff to try to capitalize on other markets, like you said, that maybe in an upswing. Yeah. So but that was good. That was good.
Definitely. And also, just the reason why that strategy is really well is because you're not going to lose depending on who's the president. You just need to understand what their platform will be. So by, aggressively investing in stocks and then taking the cash out, well, now you know where to invest depending on who the president is. Yeah. Because that's where it's going to take the economy.
See, that's a great point, because each side has their vested interest in certain type of industries, right? Yeah. So knowing that, and like I said, knowing their platform, knowing the policies that they want to roll out, it's going to, like I said, determine how you invest. Yep. Which I'm gonna have a conversation with you offline, because I heard your girl is attempting to roll out some kind of tax policy that's going to increase capital gains tax. So me as a new
unrealized
that's
investor, crazy.
I'm just kind of like, say what now? Like,
that's crazy. She's trying. Yeah, that's crazy. Now it's for people. I can't remember if it was $1 million or $5 million.
400. Well, she tried to do, at least what I read, 400 over, making like $400,000.
That's not a lot.
No, that's not.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, just from an investor standpoint, it kind of.
So you gonna text me twice on unrealized and realized gains?
Right, but anyway, that's another episode for another day. But we say all that, even though in all seriousness and in jest.
Yeah.
But these are things that you think about, right? Because now what we hope that it does for all of us, it expands our mind in a way where we start to inquire, maybe start to investigate to see maybe how things moving, what other options are out there in order for us to redirect and reposition our money in a way where we can take advantage of the momentum and then begin to be a little bit more safe and conservative based on the instability. And then once things begin to smooth out, we could try to again, redirect and reposition again. But it starts at the very beginning, which is knowing these things so that you can plan and prepare on the front end and be proactive rather than reactive. Yeah. Right. So, Cynthia, I'm not sure if there was anything else that you wanted to share or comment on before we closed out.
I do just want to touch base in these previous and following episodes. The thing I want to iterate is debt is a cycle. The economy is a cycle. Nothing happens by mistake. So the goal is, I know finance and stocks and numbers and unrealized gains and realized gains is not necessarily sexy, but you need to make it sexy, because this is how you make your decisions. And now we have access to more information and all this information before that we did not have access to. And so even if you're just like, okay, I'm going to invest based on the presidential election cycle, that's a good cycle to invest in.
Yeah.
Listen, every 4 years, like, you're going to run it up to the election, cash it out, and then you're going to see what the policy is, and then you're going to invest and let that money sit there. And it's going to grow depending on the president, right? It's not foolproof, but depending on the president, you can invest and then watch that grow for the next 4 years, sell that. Like, it's not rocket science, y'all. I promise you. But it does take a little time to learn.
A little time, and then I like what you said too, because you're saying, you've said this on several episodes now, it's not by accident. And I know that you got that from just your finance class, your economics class, right?
Yeah, my finance class.
So my point I want to make here is, especially for someone that knows nothing from nothing, right? When you start getting in these classes, in these rooms, and having conversations with people, the experts, like, the more you expose yourself to that stuff, the more sense it begins to make. And like you said, it's you don't have to know the granular details. As long as you know just kind of like a high level overview, you know enough to be dangerous. So don't feel defeated or deflated before you even take the chance to try to learn about this stuff. Sometimes, like you said, it's just sitting in a class. Maybe enroll in a class, or maybe sign up for a workshop or a seminar, or get a book or something that can help expose your mind a little bit more broadly to how money works. And I assure you, the more conversations that you have, the more things that you read, the more it begins to make sense. But I like what another takeaway that you said is the seasons, because I think that's a great way to start too. The seasons. Some people's investment strategy, and I kid you not, and I learned this by sitting in a room. Some people's investment strategy is literally just looking at Warren Buffett. What Warren Buffett does. That's their whole strategy. And there's websites that actually show you what Warren Buffett is doing and why. And so all you have to do is just read that website, see what he's doing, and do it. That's it. So don't feel overwhelmed about the information and how it can be presented at times. It really, like Cynthia said, is not rocket science.
It's not.
So with that being said, hey, look, we appreciate you all for joining for another week of Mastering Money Mondays. Again, make sure that you like, subscribe, tell your mama and them. And until next week, y'all be good. Take care.
Bye.